Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever you may be. I am Mezzo9, and welcome once again to the Sourpit farm, where today, aside from having forgotten to hide my toolbar for a moment, I'm going to be making a door for the stables. This is what I was collecting all of the redstone for last time. And you know what, I don't know why I've started over here other than for looks, because everything I need, I've already kind of set up in here. I had a bit of a time setting up last night and this morning, and you know what, I gave myself too much time for once. So, let's grab these pistons, and I'm going to want the redstone as well. Iron I'm not going to want so much, but pointless leaving it in there. Let's grab the other iron that's come out and bleed out some more, because I've got a ton of iron in here now. I mean, you saw how much I got on that mining trip, but look at that, that is insane. Anyway, it's not the job that I'm on at the moment, and it is falling night time. Brilliant. I'll have to rest before I get started, I guess. I have already built fences and stuff around the area, but I haven't built fences around the area, if you get what I mean. So there could still be skeleton archers and spiders and stuff that see me and start attacking. So I'm gonna wait till morning before I start it. Wonderful. Now, I might have a few problems this episode. Long story short, last night I spilt some coffee on my mouse, and now the scroll wheel doesn't work properly, so I'm having to use the number buttons to select items until I get a new mouse. Unfortunately. It's only Minecraft that it's going to bugger me up on, thankfully, but it's still a bugger up. So yeah, I've made a few changes over here. I've added the pathway going along here, so I've taken down this fence. It's not needed anymore. I might add a tree in here, or a little bit of a garden or something. Probably not a tree thinking about it, because I've already done that over here. And I haven't got enough fences to fence off this area yet, but you can see I've made a little plaza around this apple tree. I've got a little pathway linking up to the other side of the crop field, so I'm not having to go through it every time I want to go to the stables. And this pathway up here, I haven't built all of the paths yet, but I've kind of plotted it out towards the town. And I've built a little channel, and it goes all the way to the town once the pathway's in. I figure it'll be useful to help me find the direction that I want to be building in. But anyway, it's not what we're doing today. Today we are coming to the other side of this nice little bit that I think looks lovely. And we're going in here where we're going to build our stables. So, I think I'm going to build them back against the wall. But basically this is what the pistons are for. So I was having problems for a minute because I was trying to change item with my mouse wheel. That's going to be annoying. So what I'm doing here, I'm going 2 blocks down, and I'm about to have some more annoying mouse wheel moments. 8, thank you. And then in go the pistons, and yeah, I'm just using normal pistons. I'm not wasting my limited slime resources, because I can, instead of using anything more valuable, just put gravel on top of it. Like so. I don't want it 2 blocks high, thank you very much. Lovely. Then I need to dig down here as well a little bit. I'm going to dig right down so that I can actually get in there, because I'm going to need to have the redstone hooked up. So, as you can see, I'm digging all the way around the pistons in order to get the redstone entering from every angle. But I will be sealing this up at some point. I'm probably going to need repeaters for this project now that I think about it. Oh, mispressed there, sorry about that. And, oh, I don't think I needed to go quite that far, but okay. I'm going to seal this all in a minute anyway. So, this is the easy part. Redstone and redstone. Of course, we've got to have it coming from both sides, because if I were to put a redstone here, these now don't connect to the pistons, so we need the other one coming from the other side like that. Next thing we need is a lever or something to get the redstone activated. Let's put these in my hotbar. I don't need my torches right now. And first thing we're going to do actually is seal up above the redstone so that there's no space for things to spawn or whatever. I'm not going to do it any further than that for now, thinking about it, because otherwise it'll be quite hard to, use. just get out of here a moment. So, where do we want the lever going? Because it's got to be lever operated, and I don't have a lever with me. I don't even have any wood with me. Oh, that might be an issue. Let's go grab a stick then. I'm pretty sure I have 2. Because I made some fences this morning, which required me to have spare sticks. Just realised that the Minecraft audio is coming out of the speakers, not the headset. That's my own fault, setup-wise. And I think that I'm going to have to close the game and reopen it if I want it coming on normally. I might just do that. And I suppose if I'm going to do that, I may as well do it now rather than later. So, I guess I will see you again in a few minutes. I'm just going to make my way back over there first, but then I'm going to restart the game and get the sound proper. Sorry about the issues it might have been causing so far. Of course, it might not have been causing those issues, in which case all is fine, but whatever. See you in a moment. And we're back. Alright, that should have caused any echoiness that you might have been hearing. Did I grab that stick? I did. For some reason, for a moment, I figured I must have forgotten. I'm going to need 2 levers, so yeah, let's use both the sticks. And here looks like an alright spot, but I'm not sure how I'm going to link that up to that. Hang on a moment. I will figure this out. It won't take me too long. Now, if I go there, it's going to be in front of the doorway. It's going to be inside the wall. Yeah, there looks good enough. Which now means I need to dig up through there and there. And there and there. And I need a... got my cobblestone out of my bar. I need a block down there. Oh, sorry about the noise. Did that redstone? Yes, that redstoned. Now, it looks like I'm going to need to make this pull back a tile. Okay. Well, I don't have any soil with me, which I would prefer to use to solve that, but that's fine. Oh, it's all dark. Oh, it's all gone dark. I don't like that. Let's break that back open. Just for a moment. And there's my way out, and the signal's way in. So, as you can tell, first thing I'm sorting out is getting the signal in there, then I'm bothering with everything else, such as making sure it's on by default rather than off by default. Oh, that will be the next part of the job. So, yeah, that works. Oh. Ish. There we go. It was just being a bit funny. Ooh. It's still being a bit funny. Might just be server lag or something. It seems to actually work, it's just behaving a bit oddly. Now, we're going to want a second lever to open it up from the other side, if we want to open it up from the other side. Because, you know, we might want to go in there, mount the horse, and then ride them out, rather than open the gate straight away. You might. You don't know yet. You just don't know. That's odd. It shouldn't really behave quite like that. There we go. That's how it's meant to look when it's closed. So I'm going to leave that closed for now. And I need to come back down on this side. Okay. Oh, mouse wheel did funny things. It's the other problem I've been having with my mouse wheel. Sometimes it seems to have a mind of its own, thanks to the coffee. Well, if the other lever goes here, then this will just have to mimic on the other side. And that's easy enough to create. Like so. Ta-da! Now, of course, when it's closed from this side, it'll stay closed from this side at the moment. That's not how we want it functioning. I need another stick. Well, there's some trees over here that are going to have to be chopped down eventually. There isn't a gate over here. Well, now there is. Let's pop it down here in the middle of the path. And I need to cough. Sorry about this, folks. Ooh, there's a mute button on my headset that I've recently learnt about. Hang on. Now, what I did not realise is that the mute button is not a hold down thing, but a press then press again. So the audio for the rest of this video was muted. So I've had to come back on and re-record this. So after a few moments of disorientation, I decided to fill in this wall a little bit so I wouldn't forget that there's redstone behind it. And thanks to the sticky mouse, I went a little bit too far, but didn't take me long to clear it up. I also took the copper out of the walls and filled that spot in, because I didn't want to leave the copper there. More useful to have it than not. And I was about to head back into the stables when I remembered that I came out here for wood in the first place, so I got out my mattock, because it's actually quicker than the lumber axe on small trees, and I chopped down a jungle tree. I then turned the wood into sticks, if I remember correctly. I said something to do with my... Oh, I was probably talking about the lumber axe being slower in that instance. So yeah, turned the wood into sticks, and I made a redstone torch. There we go. And made my way back inside. So now it was time to start working on the redstone circuit itself. But before I could start with that, I needed to light up the area a bit. I couldn't see a thing, and I'm sure you can't either watching at home. So once that was done, I started fiddling about with the torch, figuring out where to put it. I tried there first, and yes, the top section was affecting it, but it wasn't actually going through to the rest of the pathway. Actually, now that I look back at it, it may well have been, and it was off, so I wouldn't have been able to tell at that moment. It might have been working fine for all I know, but I didn't realise that at the time. My next attempt was to get a redstone signal going through from above, and I tried to get into a position where I could see if that was working. There were stones in my way, but not hard to fix. And from here, I still couldn't see. So I fixed that bit that I just broke. And that bit. Oh, no, I went round to the back first. Okay, that works too. Doesn't look like I did fix that bit. I must have, because it worked in the end. So, it wasn't working at this point. Took falling down there to tell, which I'd never meant to do in the first place, but I decided to take that out to get back up rather than poling up, because poling back up would have been pointless. And there we go, fixed that bit of the circuit. At this point I was considering using 2 redstone torches, one either side, and seeing if that would work better with a redstone path heading down on that block I just placed. So I first needed to craft a second redstone torch. There we go. Put them in my hotbar, make sure I don't lose the sticks as well. And then I tried placing them on each wall. And it worked. Took me a minute to realise why one of them wasn't lighting and the other one was, but it was pretty quick after that. But that didn't seem to be connecting, which was an issue. Because obviously if it was connecting, the on torch would turn it on, right? I might be wrong on that fact. I'm no expert on redstone. I don't pretend to be. I just use it when I need to. So next I tried having it coming in from the sides like that, and seeing if the charge on that block would fix it, but that didn't really make much sense in the first place. I don't think that would have worked. One of the torches came up unlit, which was a little odd, so I couldn't stack them together, but that was fine really. I think that may have been the torch that I ended up not using. So next I tried placing a torch there, and the answer became obvious at that moment. I just need a redstone line round the back. And off goes the torch, and you heard the pistons go as well. Wonderful. So, with that all working, I came out to test it, and as you can see, as long as either switch is on, the door is open. Of course, with my sticky mouse, it took me a while to get it closed again, but that's fine. So there was only one thing left to do now. Seal up all the space that I made inside the hill. Because, of course, the redstone only needs a little bit of space to breathe. And the rest I can just fill in with all this excess cobblestone. Because, let's face it, I'm going to have a lot of cobblestone when I'm done building these stables. Not that I don't already have a lot of cobblestone. I wondered if a block there would work, but, well, you heard the mess that made. So I took it back out. Picked up the cobblestone again for some reason. Not that I needed it. Force of habit, I suppose. And then I filled that in. Then I filled in the corners there. And everything I could over this. I paused that side because I needed to leave a gap for me to climb back up. Took down the torch and filled in that end. Lovely. Oh, I went a little too far. And then just finished filling it in. With a sticky mouse making me place 2 blocks at once. I did miss a block there, but it wasn't really important. And there we go. There's the doorway to my stables, done for the time being. Now, I believe I mentioned at this point, not knowing that the mute button was still on, that I intended to replace that gravel with fences at some point. But not just yet, because I don't have enough slime balls to make that practical. Took me a moment to remember what it was called there, sorry about that. So now all that I needed to do was add in a bit of lighting to the doorway, and I decided to do that with pumpkins in the wall, jack-o'-lanterns rather. Some lovely glowing faces to scare the horses away from leaving. Should work just fine. I decided to start on the excavation of the stables themselves now. So I switched to my hammer, much quicker tool for the job. And whack, 9 at once. Now, I had to figure out how far back I needed these walls to go in order to not mess with the system, and that would have been too close because it would have exposed some redstone had I done the wall there. So back here should have been fine, and it was. So I just pushed it back a couple of blocks. Should be enough, and same on the other side. Making me a lovely 7 wide stables. Now I just need to make it longer. Can't fit many horses in 7 blocks. Or even 7 by 3, which is 21, but you know what I mean. And as I was excavating, I found some order shards. No, entropy shards. I made a joke about chaos, I can't remember it, and commented that it would have been much nicer to find some air shards, because that's what I was actually looking for. But order shards are still nice. Nothing wrong with getting a few shards. They will always be helpful in Thaumcraft, which I did intend to get into still. I do still intend to get into Thaumcraft at some point on this server. But I needed those, really. Air shards are what I've been looking for weeks now. And to just come across them while I was building the stables was lovely. So I picked them up. I actually made sure to pick them up straight away. Kept filling in the holes underneath me. And that was that. At this point I'm now ready to start building my paving stones of travelling. Once I've got the equipment. In fact, no, once I've got the time, I've now got the equipment. That's the point there. So I finished off the back wall here. And right now, fireball in my face and silverfish everywhere. Nearly gave me a heart attack when it happened, honestly. And everything went dark when I put out the fires. So here's a bit that I'm a little disappointed to have lost my live commentary on, because it was probably very entertaining. Bit of screaming and running in fear for a moment as well. So I knew that I needed to clear out the silverfish, but I didn't want to do that in the dark. So I switched to my swords and I moved back in to start cleaning them out. I didn't want a stables full of silverfish, I wanted a stables full of horses. It's the whole point of stables. So clearing out the silverfish did take me quite a while, and I don't really want to commentate too much over it, because it more stands on its own merits, and the point of my commentary over this would have been, you know, the entertaining aspect of me running scared. Got hit by a bit of wither there, though, and that was unpleasant. Now, I was pretty sure at this point that I hadn't killed that champion silverfish, and I was looking for it. I was sure I could hear it, but it took me a while for it to occur to me that you can hear them while they're moving about in the walls. I thought it had perhaps escaped onto my farm, but I didn't really want to go around in the rain looking for it, so I just had a quick look around my area and went back inside. I couldn't see it anywhere, and I'm pretty sure still that I had actually already killed it. However, once I started going back in, things got a little tougher. So things seemed to be going fine right up until that moment. And all of a sudden, silverfish came from every angle and just swarmed me. A few champions popped out at this point, and one of them trapped me in a spider web, another one poisoned me. And as you know, poison reduces your hunger very quickly. And hunger in this game, in this mod pack, is deadly, as we are about to see. So I was pretty sure that the cobweb would have stopped my items from spawning a gravestone, and thought I needed to get back there as quick as I can. I did stop to watch this random cow, because it wasn't far I needed to go, at least it was still on my farm. I tried to push the cow into the stables, and then got distracted by this doom creeper. I really thought it would have a slightly more devastating effect, but it didn't. And that's good. So I went back into the stables, hoping to pick up my items as quickly as I could, and not get into too much trouble with the silverfish, but a gravestone had indeed spawned. I wasn't in the cobweb when I died. So I figured I'll break the cobweb as quick as I can, and then I'll grab the items. One silverfish attacking me wasn't too much of a problem. I found quite quickly that I could handle one at a time, even with just my bare hands. But I could hear that there were still more down there, so I decided to bait a few out and kill them as quick as I could before I tried to make a move for my equipment. It actually went surprisingly well, although you can hear them in the background spawning more and more and more. I couldn't clear them out as quickly as I could kill them, not with bare hands. Don't know what I was thinking, really. These ones trapped in the cobweb, though, they were no issue to me, until they broke the block next to it. So, while it was a bit scary when 3 silverfish attacked me at once and I was completely unarmed, I did manage to kill them quite quickly and get back in there to try again to break the cobweb. Took a long time, but I could see it happening at this point. Almost there. Almost. And then I decided to go back in and see if I could lure any more silverfish out. But somehow, there were no more silverfish to lure out. Anywhere. They were still in the rocks, but none had spawned. I could have sworn I'd heard them spawning, but there were none in there. So, I decided to head back out, grab a pickaxe, and get the gravestone rebroken. But unfortunately, it was a little harder than that to just get back out of there. I'll let you watch how I figured it out. There you go. Thought it took longer than that, to be honest. Alright. So next I had to head to find my spare pickaxe to get that gravestone broken. And I figured it would be in the usual chest, the dump chest that I'd normally put it in. After a while of looking through the wrong chests, I looked in the right chest, but it still wasn't there. So I figured that I'd probably put it in one of my other chests and decided to grab some food while I was in the house. Since all of my food was now in the gravestone, and I couldn't get it back until I got a pickaxe. So I ate a few baked potatoes, got my hunger back up, and started going to look for the next spot it might be in. I got most of the way back into the stables before I realised that I hadn't grabbed my pickaxe. I hadn't done what I left to do in the first place. But I knew exactly where I thought it was, and that would have been in the smeltery box. So I ran in there, straight to... oh, I did pick up a bit of iron and drain it out a bit more, because as you can see here, lots of iron in there. I did also put the silver nuggets in there. I'm not sure if they melted or not, but I put them in there nonetheless. Now, my pickaxe wasn't in the chest at all, which I found a little odd, and realised exactly where I put it. Quite an illogical place, in what is essentially my kitchen drawer. Very appropriate place for a pickaxe. Properly equipped at last, I came back in and managed to break the gravestone and grab everything back from it. Took me a minute because I had to put my armour on to make the space, but I got everything back. I also swapped to the right boots rather than the new feather falling boots that I picked up from one of the silverfish, I believe. Then I started filling in the hole, because, you know, there's still silverfish eggs in here, but it was far enough back that it didn't particularly matter. They weren't going to get out from down here and attack my horses. It was all fine. It took me a while to fill the hole back in, but I suppose there's nothing else to commentate on here, because it's all I was doing. I decided, while I was filling in the hole, that I wanted to get some of these fire shards. So after I dug them out, I did need to make a bit of space in my inventory for them, which you just saw. And then I needed to fill the hole back in. That block was easy. Not so much there, but I got it nonetheless. And I had to nerd pole a little for the next one, but I still managed to get it all. I also had to drop the grave plate to get the space in my inventory for that bit of aluminium, because it's a useful rare resource. As you can probably tell here, I decided that I wanted to make the ceiling a little higher, and I did make a little bit of a mistake in that corner with where I was using my hammer, but it was quite easy to remember how you meant to use hammers after that. I spent a lot of time in the magic quarry building things with hammers, or rather digging things with hammers, digging ceilings primarily, and I knew what I was doing. I'd just forgotten for a moment. Once I'd remembered, it was an effortless job. Of course, by this point I was really running low on time. I had intended to do quite a bit more this episode, but the silverfish rather buggered that up. So there was only one thing left to do, which was collect up all the bits that had dropped, and get ready to end the show. I did decide that I wanted a bit of a fence across the top there, and I did need to clear up that little bit of fence, which took me getting my matic back in my hotbar. Still need to sort that out in between episodes, but I've got a week to do that. So at this point, that was everything that I did this episode. The rest is just pootering about and getting the outro done, to be honest. So, all there is left to say is thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this episode, despite the fluff up I made with the commentary. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe for more of the same, as well as Binding of Isaac and Was Hack, which should be starting up again this week, and a new playthrough that I plan to start this week, which I'm intending to leave you all in a bit of suspense about. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Bye!